men, friends and neighbors, or shall I say this afternoon?
Welcome back to the Detroit Tigers franchise on MLB the Show 22. I'm your host, longtime listener. Be sure to drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment below. Before we jump into action in this one, quick point of note. We're going to change up the cadence of the amount of games that we play. So we are due to head to San Francisco and take on the Giants here in the next one. And what we have been doing is basically playing one game each time through the rotation with a different pitcher each time through the rotation. And what we're going to now do is just to try and get us deeper into this franchise so that we can kind of see how the team and individual players progress throughout more of their career. We're going to skip a time through the rotation. So what's going to happen here is we'll play this game. The next game that we play is going to be, like into June here, somewhere in this neighborhood. Not one time through the rotation, but a second time through the rotation down the road. So what we'll have in this episode, as far as what that's going to mean, is one game here against the Giants, and then the draft is coming up in 8 days. So we'll have the game, and then we will have the 2023 player draft. So let's just jump right in here. But again, this will help us get farther into the franchise series and hopefully get several seasons deep before we wrap it up. So without further ado, let's head on out to the West Coast and take on the Giants. And here we are in San Francisco. It is the Giants and the Tigers at Oriole Park. The Tigers coming into this one at 28-19, but that record not indicative of how they have been playing over the last couple of weeks. They were really hot out of the gates and have started to cool off here down these last few weeks, and they're going to go up against a Giants team that is playing pretty well. And Omar Narvaez, the veteran catcher, one of the reasons why. He's hitting .276 with 8 home runs so far this season. And former Tiger Michael Pinero on the hill, he has been outstanding for the Giants. Look at those numbers, a 1.06 whip and a 2.2 ERA over 10 starts, and he's 4-1 across those 10 starts, giving him about 6.5 innings per outing. First batter is Akil Baddoo. He's down on strikes, and that's a good start for Pineda as he gets him swinging, and it's a 5-pitch K. 2 batters later, Andrew Benintendi takes one into left field. That ball hit pretty well. He had one to hit, but he was a little bit late and doesn't quite get all of that one. That's run down for the final out of the inning, and we go to the bottom of the first. Casey Mize, first pitch of the ball game. Fastball inside. Adam Frazier hits a high fly ball, but it's so far out there in Triple's alley that they can't get to it. And it is going to be a stand-up triple for Adam Frazier to start the ball game. And a great start for the Giants as they've got a runner just 90 feet away and nobody out. Next batter, Austin Slater, second pitch. Hits a ground ball to the second baseman. Castro fields and throws to first, but a run comes in to score, and the Giants already have the lead. Just 3 pitches into the ball game, and it's 1-0. On to the top of the second. First batter is Javi Baez. He smokes one off the foot of Michael Pineda. It goes way over into foul territory. It's an infield single, and Pineda is going to leave this game as that ball was hit hard and hit him pretty square. As you saw how far it rebounded into foul territory, and he is done after just an inning plus. They're going to turn to Alex Cobb out of the bullpen, and it's already an issue of bullpen arms for the Giants as they are going to the pen here in just the second inning. Next batter, Spencer Torkelson down on strike, so a good start for Cobb as he gets the young first baseman swing in there for the first out. Then 3-0 to Riley Green. That's outside. It's a 4-pitch walk. So strikeout, walk to start things off for Cobb. Now it's first and second, 1 away. Now with 2 outs in the inning, Willie Castro, ground ball to short. They're going to get him at first, and that'll end threat as the Tigers strand a pair. We go to the bottom of the second. Now actually bottom of the third. Casey Mize to Brandon Crawford. Couldn't hold up there on the low fastball. He's down on strikes. That's the first strikeout for Mize. Next batter, Chad Pinder. Swing and a miss on a slider down and away. Back-to-back strikeouts for Casey Mize as he looks to get settled in after that run scored in the first. Now bottom of the fourth, Casey Mize on a 3-2 pitch. That is a nice piece of hitting as he takes the slider the other way, and it's against the shift, and it gets all the way to the wall. It's a stand-up double, and the Giants have a run scoring position. That was Darren Ruff with his, I didn't see what number double of the year it was. Next batter, Tommy LaStella, hits one into left field. Benintendi is under it. That ball was hit pretty well, but that's going to be the first out of the inning. And now the Tigers are going to intentionally walk Omar Narvaez. That'll set up the double play with one out here in the inning. Next batter, you have Evan Longoria, 0-2. A mistaken location there as he got that in instead of away. And it's not hit hard, but it does get by into left field, and a run comes in to score. He got the ground ball that he wanted, but unfortunately, Jonathan Villar unable to knock it down. Now 2 away in the inning, a 2-2 splitter right down the middle. A mistaken location there from Mize, and that is a 3-run jack, and the Giants grab a 5-run lead now on the 4th of the year for Chad Pinder. That was a bomb and an absolute mistaken location from Casey Mize. Now top of the 5th, Jonathan Villar slicing one into left field on an 0-2 pitch. Nice piece of hitting there. Not a bad pitch from Cobb, and he went with it, and he's got a leadoff knock. Then it's Willie Castro. Diving try by Longoria. He knocks it down but doesn't have a play, so now it's first and second for the Tigers, and they've got an opportunity to bounce back. One away now for, who is that? Akil Baddoo. Nice diving stop there at second from Adam Frazier, and that is huge as now they are 1 out away from getting out of this. Runners on the corners for the Tigers. Harold Castro, nice piece of hitting there as he slices one into left field on a very well located sinker from Cobb. That gets the Tigers on the board and keeps the inning going. It's now 5-1, 2 outs. And here comes Andrew Benintendi. First pitch, he gets one to hit. That ball is ripped and into the gap in right center field. That's going to go way out there into Triples Alley. Both runs going to come in to score. It's now going to be 5-3. A runner on third, 2 away in the inning as the Giants just can't get out of this inning now as the Tigers have rallied with 2 outs to put up 3 runs. And now Yarlin Garcia going to come on and try and get them out of this as they are going to the bullpen yet again. And you see the numbers for the lefty right there. He's got a runner on third, 2 away in the inning. Javi Baez due up. That ball hit well on a pretty well located changeup with 2 strikes. That's going to get all the way out there and bounce over the wall in what would have been Triples Alley. So it's an RBI double for Baez, now 5-4 as the Tigers have come storming back with some excellent hitting here in the 5th inning. And remember that diving stop by Adam Frazier turns out to be a big one as that ball was hit well from Torkelson there, but Slater able to run it down and they finally get out of this inning. But the Tigers have come back to make it a 1-run ball game. And the Giants already now on their 3rd arm out of the bullpen. Casey Mize still out there. 2-2 pitch gets a swing and a miss there for the 2nd out of the inning as he's got Flores for, I believe, his 4th strikeout of the day. Now to the top of the 6th, Jonathan Villar, swing and a miss as he couldn't stay back on the changeup. He's down on strikes for the 2nd out of the top of the 6th. Now bottom of the 6th, 3-2, swing and a miss. He got Longoria swinging, and it's a 1-2-3 6th for Casey Mize, who has done a good job of grinding out some innings for the Tigers. Now here we go to the top of the 7th. A 2-strike pitch comes up and gets Jake Rogers, and then the Tigers are going to pinch hit with Eric Haas to try and give him some speed, or pinch run rather, and they're going to pinch hit with Robbie Grossman, who has been outstanding this year. But he is going to hit a hard ground ball right at the second baseman. 4-6-3 double play. And Justin Wilson able to roll it up there to hopefully avoid some trouble for the Giants. Now top of the 8th. It's Camilo Duvall on in relief with a runner on first. That ball hit well. Baez thought it was going to get down, and he is going to get doubled off easily. They could have tagged him there at second. They end up going 9-4-6-3 for the double play there. And now Tyler Rogers coming on in relief looking for the save. It would be his 15th of the year, and he has been really sharp for them with a 1.72 ERA so far this season. First batter, swing and a miss on a sinker down and away. And Castro is down on strikes for the 1st out of the inning. Good start for Rogers. Next batter, Eric Haas. He's down on strikes, just couldn't stay back on an 82-mile-an-hour fastball. And the Tigers are down to their last out. Robbie Grossman, that ball hit well, but right at him at first. He's going to step on the bag, and the Giants take this one 5-4. The Tigers made it interesting coming back when they were down 5-0, but they come up short on the road here, and the Giants win it. Look at the numbers, 8 hits and a walk for the Tigers. They struck out 5 times. 3 of the 8 hits were for Javi Baez, who ends up with an RBI, and then Benintendi with a pair of them himself. Castro was 1 for 3 with an RBI as well. They got a double from Baez, triple from Benintendi, who had the 2 RBIs. 2 guys hit by pitch in this one. Robbie Grossman grounded into a big double play. Casey Mize gets his 3rd loss of the year, going 6 1/3, 7 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 5 earned. Just the 1 inning there in the 4th where he couldn't get out of trouble. And then Strom and Givens doing an admirable job keeping it close. But the bats went silent after the 5th inning, really for both teams in this one. The Giants end up with 8 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. They got a pair of hits from Flores and Pinder, who ended up having a big day going 2 for 3 with that big 3-run homer back in the 4th inning. They also got doubles from Flores and Ruff, the triple from Frazier way back on the first pitch of the ball game. The RBIs were for Longoria, 3 for Pinder, 1 for Slater. La Stella hit by pitch. It was a retaliation situation there for the Tigers, as things may have gotten ugly there had it gotten any further out of control. And it's a bullpen effort for sure. Look at all the arms that came in and contributed in this one. Cobb actually pitched well until that 4th inning and was even making good pitches, but the Tigers were executing and hitting those pitches, and they end up, tallying some runs. Rogers gets his 15th save of the year. He was outstanding there in the 9th inning as the Giants hang on to win this one 5-4 here at home. All right, and now it is time for the 2023 Amateur Draft. In the first round, we will be picking 26th, so pretty late in the first round, but we do have basically the 31st pick in the draft as well, because we've got a competitive balance pick there. So our next pick won't be until 22nd in the second round, but nonetheless, we've got 2 picks that are sort of what you would call late first rounders. So let's jump in here. We're going to see who is available here in this first round that we are interested in. And to start with, what we're going to do is, as per normal, kind of sort by ETA to the MLB. And we're looking for guys that are borderline major league ready, but also have minimum 75 on the potential front and are fully scouted. So if we look at who is fully scouted plus pretty much major league ready, and in that category, Luis Pinero is really the only guy. He's got 75 for potential, which makes him about a high B, maybe like an 86 for his potential. And the dude has a pretty good bat. Like, you see his contact ratings and power ratings are both decent, and they're pretty good against lefties in particular. He's also got average, or I guess above average, potential for discipline and vision. He's got a good glove and a strong arm, although it's not super accurate. And then he actually has decent speed. So this is a guy that, man, would I love it if he was there in the second round. And now that I think about it, with that competitive balance pick, he probably will be there. So let's keep an eye out for him as perhaps a second pick off the board for us. But then I want to look at these couple of guys right here. It says they're basically like a year away from being major league ready, and they're both 80 for potential. Now, this guy is a outfielder. He can play any of the outfield positions. He's a switch hitter. Doesn't have a ton of power, but he has decent contact ratings, pretty good vision. The discipline's okay, and he looks like a pretty respectable fielder, and he's got good speed. So at 21 years old, this guy is already probably like a 72 overall, and could end up being pretty good within a couple of years. Then you've got Esteban Tavares. Now, we already have Torkelson at first base, and we just drafted a first baseman last year, so I don't think this is the pick that would make sense for us. I'm intrigued because the guy can hit, but he's not a super fielder, and I don't really need another first baseman. So I think we're going to go with Psy Clarkson. I like that he can switch hit, and he looks like he's going to be a respectable glove as well and have some speed. This is the kind of player that we are looking for going forward. We want guys that are going to put the ball in play pretty good defense, and be able to swipe some bags. This guy fits the mold. I like that he's got the 80 for potential, and we have him pretty much fully scouted. Not quite fully, but he's pretty much all the way there. So this guy should be either a high 80s or low 90s for his potential. So let's take him. And then I just want to see, that catcher did not come off the board. So that is going to be our pick here. So let's come back here and sort again. And then it's Pinero. This is our guy. It was him, right? 75 for his potential. Yeah, that's the man. Now, I'm hoping that he is like a high B for his, for his like high 80s for his potential. And that could end up being a pretty good pick right there. With this pick, I think we probably should consider maybe looking for a starting pitcher. And how about this? The top guy on the board is Javier Alfonso. Excuse me. Still fighting a cough in case you haven't noticed. I like that he's left-handed. He's 22. The control is okay. The walks per 9 and Ks per 9 are actually pretty good, but this guy looks like he's going to give up a fair amount of hits and home runs. But he throws hard. He's got a fastball, slider, two-seam, and a sweeping curve. I don't like that he doesn't have a changeup, but he's probably a high B potential as well. And I don't really see anybody else that sticks out even more. So let's go ahead and go with him and try and add another arm to our rotation. Like if I go like this, Rodriguez and Turnbull aren't going to be around forever, so we need to keep adding weapons in the starting rotation so that we continue to get deep there. And you see like the field there on the upper right-hand corner. It says we are thin at starting pitching, so this is probably the right pick. So let's go with that. And now we're going to be deep into the third round here before we have another pick. And now we're basically just looking for the best player on the board. I did not scout very many relief pitchers because we drafted like 3 in the last draft, and I just don't need any more. So basically, this guy here is one of the only ones that I scouted, and I scouted him because he's left-handed, and he's got good walks per 9. He's got the same pitch mix as the last guy that we just drafted as a starter. But again, I like that he's left-handed, and he's 22 with 80 potential, although he's not completely fully scouted. So this guy is a maybe, but he's a strong maybe just because I think he could be decent already and then really good within a few years if the potential holds up into the high 80s once it's revealed or whatever. But I just don't see a lot of other options. Like if I go and sort by, oh no, here's what I want to sort by. I want to sort by accuracy. And like this guy's an 80, and he is the highest accuracy that we've got, and he's the only one that's even above 70. So let's just do it. I'm not super crazy about this pick, but I think he is the best option on the board right this minute. And it's going to get thin real fast here. We're probably not going to have a whole lot of knowledge about what we're getting from here on out, unless we kind of get lucky. Okay, so there are still a few guys that we've got mostly scouted. Now, see, this guy, while he's a 70 overall, or a 70 potential, his overall is trash. Like, this guy is just not going to be very good right out of the gates. He's got decent contact against righties, but no power. Not very good vision or discipline. He's not a very good defender, but he is fast. But I don't think this is the right pick. I think we're better off taking a guy that's got, like, this one here. He's rated as a 60 overall. God, he can't hit either. I think this might be the move, though. Although we just drafted an outfielder. Dang it, there are none left other than outfielders and closers. That's all we've got scouted now. I think this is the right pick. He's got the highest potential and the highest overall. Even though he's not fully scouted, we just kind of have to take him and hope that maybe the potential is higher than the 70. Like give him a high C or low B for his potential, and maybe he turns into a decent player. And now for these next couple of picks, we're basically just guessing, and we are going to do so based on what we're going to do is go overall, and I don't want any relievers, but I want a guy that's got an 80 for the potential. We got a couple more outfielders here. I don't like drafting another outfielder, but given that there's nobody else with an 80 anywhere in sight, we're going to look at these two right here and pick based on what we know. So 5'7", 177. He's 20 years old, plays any outfield position. He's got speed, and all the other things are just kind of like slightly below average. So he's a guy that if the potential is accurate, could turn into a decent player, but it's going to take him several years. Jose Colon, 6'4", 202, and he's only 18, which I like. His ratings are not quite as strong, though, but the potential seems like there's more there across the board. Given that it's kind of a risk anyway, I think I'm going to go with this guy. He can play any outfield position and first base, and he's 2 years younger. And I like that he's 6'4" as opposed to 5'7", so maybe this guy turns into a home run hitter down the road if he can fill out. So let's go with him. Just cross our fingers that we get a gem there. And now, again, I think this will be our last pick, and it's going to be a guess. So we're going to, again, let's just go sort by potential. Okay, so we've got a couple of 70s up here. They're relief pitchers, but if you look at the overall, these guys are head and shoulders above everybody else that's remaining in both overall and potential. Now, these probably aren't accurate, but let's just try and grab one of these guys as long as we like the pitch mix. This guy doesn't throw real hard. The control's okay. Like, everything is just kind of like, maybe. Cutter, change, slide, curve. The walks per 9 is lower than this dude, so we're going to go with Coleman Mori. Again, it's a guess, and it's probably a bad guess, but it's the best guess we can make with the information that we have. So, now it is time to see what we got here. Alright, so Psy Clarkson is a 90 for his potential, and he's a 70 overall. I guessed 72, and I wasn't far off. Love the handlebar mustache. Again, pretty good fielding ratings, good speed. He's got good contact and good vision. This is a guy that'll probably thrive at Double-A, and hopefully that, the contact continues to creep up. But if he can also develop a little bit of power, this guy could be a really good pick for us within a few years. And, we've got guys like Robbie Grossman, that before too long he's probably going to be gone. So we'll need to start backfilling some of those spots. Luis Pinero is a B for his potential. It's a 84, which is like a mid B. He can already hit lefties pretty well, and he's actually decent against righties. So he's a 74 overall with B potential, and he's only 21. So we'll give him a year or two in the minors, and then this guy is, basically major league ready. I could put him on the 40-man roster right now and be totally happy with it. Now, this is a little bit of a miss here in that the potential is a high C as opposed to a B that we were kind of hoping for. But this could be a good role player for us, a guy that we use for long relief or something along those lines. he's never going to be a superstar unless he has like a breakout year. The potential comes up, and the hits and home runs ratings come way up. But he's got pretty good stuff with the fastball in the mid to high 90s. So I wish he had a changeup, but I like having another left-handed arm to work with. So I'm not too disappointed with that pick. And then this one, he's almost an A for his potential. He's only a 64 overall, but this is a guy that's going to have a few years to develop in the minors before I need him anyway. And we've got several bullpen arms to work with because of our draft from last year. So I'm okay with this. It's another weapon for us to add to the bullpen. Adam Min, this was a bust. 69 for his potential, which is basically a high D, and he's only a 57 overall. This is going to be a career minor leaguer that we probably will never re-sign beyond his rookie contract. This is a good pick here in terms of the potential, but the overall is so bad at 47. He's never going to get playing time, even at Double-A, unless we have injuries and I just have to put him on the roster. But I'm never putting a guy like this in the starting lineup. He just can't hit at all. So he's young and he's got some potential. So maybe in these first few years he learns to hit and he becomes a possibility, but I don't see that one working out. And then Coleman Mori, we kind of anticipated this one being a complete risk. It's hilarious that he was listed as like a 70 potential and then I think he was like a 70 overall, which should put him, in the high 60s or low 70s or whatever. He's nowhere close to either of those. This guy is just trash. So not a whole lot to say about that one. But when he's the last pick of your draft, it's not that big of a deal. But I'm happy with this draft class. I really like what we got here and here. This is okay, and I like what we got here. So, and then even this Jose Colon, maybe as young as he is, give him 3 years to develop in single A ball or whatever, and maybe he's up to like a 60 if it's like a breakout scenario or whatever. But these top 4 is a pretty good core, especially this guy. He could end up being a stud for us. So that is going to do it for this episode. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment below, and we will see y'all next time.
Good evening, friends and neighbors. Or shall I say this afternoon?